Hi, this is Mario Romero with the Romero and Company at the Melcher Agency, your Phoenix real estate connection. And thank you for watching our video today. Today it's my pleasure to introduce Sylvia Vega and Chief President of Mujer Inc. Sylvia, can you tell us about yourself, your history, and the organization, and why you are involved as much as you are?
Sure, I'd be happy to. My name is Sylvia Vega. I grew up in Tucson, Arizona, relocated to the Phoenix area from California in about early or mid 1990s, and I've been with Mujer for about 18 years, I would say. I am not a native of Phoenix, but I certainly feel at home here since joining Mujer. I worked for the Attorney General's office back in 2001, and when that occurred, I met a very dynamic Latina who worked there as well. She was one of our prosecuting attorneys, assistant attorney generals. Her name was Joanne Garcia.
Oh yes, and Joanne, yes.
She happened to recruit me for Mujer. And since then, I attended quite a number of Mujer events, such as their signature event, which was the Valentine's Day dance called Una Noche Romantica.
I think I went to one of those.
Oh, they had several beautiful, wonderful events downtown Phoenix. And I got to see a variety of professional Latina women there networking, and it was such a pleasure to have that experience. And when I talked to Joanne about this, she recruited me, and I started working with Mujer, which has a outreach program that they started in 1981 when Mujer was founded by a number of very civic-minded, high-profile Latinas working for the city of Phoenix. In fact, the Mujer Incorporated Hispanic Women's Conference kind of grew out of from our founding members. One of our founding members was Rebecca Villacaña. There was also Olga Aros and several others, Delia Nowakowski. These individuals, I think at the time, were working for the city of Phoenix, and they established this Mujer Inc. To serve as a network of Latina women to try to help them in socializing, also creating these networks that would help them grow within their own organizations in the corporate world, things of that sort. And it kind of grew, and probably about 1981 is when it started, but maybe a few months after, they decided to adopt an outreach project, and that was called Project Mana. And Project Mana, Mana comes from the word hermana, which means sister. And this Project Mana was for developing not only young Latinas, but also adult Latinas, helping them in growing professionally, culturally, spiritually. What we did was we had started conducting these fundraisers that would help them in getting the funds that would help in supporting and actually helping them in implementing and delivering the Project Mana Leadership Retreat. So, do you have any other questions? Do you want me to keep on going?
No, tell me about, I knew about that. I was going to go with the retreat because I knew you guys did a retreat. How many girls typically attend that, and what?
Well, we started very low key. We started very, and actually the women of Mujer Inc. also were the volunteers that delivered the actual leadership retreat. So at the very beginning, it was a 3-day retreat that would occur probably in the summertime, but it was for the focus of having girls learn more about their culture, their heritage, gaining pride and self-confidence based on those strengths that they have within them. And it was all about keeping the girls in school, graduating from high school and going on to higher learning.
Yes.
Always an important aspect. And in the process, it started very, very small, very low key. It grew to such a event that it happened yearly. It was a 3-day event, but the amazing results of the event were very resonating for not only the young girls that attended, but also all of us who volunteered to facilitate the delivery of this retreat. So it's very extensive. It would be a retreat that brought girls grades 8 through 12.
Okay.
And we were able to grow and build the funding with a contributions and donations from corporate companies within metro area of Phoenix, and we were able to take up to about 100 girls. Sometimes it went to 120
for that retreat.
For this retreat,
wow.
Depending on how much of the funding we could obtain from those types of fundraisers, such as Una Noche Romantica and other events. We had wine tasting events, tequila tasting events.
I was a tequila event.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So these were the events that would help us defray the costs of delivering this retreat. Very soon after we started developing, we could see the need for these girls to attend these retreats, because the number of dropout rate, the highest dropout rate, would afflict our Latina youth.
Oh yes, yes.
The teenage pregnancy would afflict our Latina youth. So we were doing what we could to try to build this need for them to stay in school and go on to higher learning.
Just to feel that they could.
Exactly, succeed. Because it wasn't something that was typical in their background very often, not always, but sometimes. So anyway, it grew. It grew to offering a curriculum that was developed by a social worker who was Latina herself, so could connect the ancestry, the heritage, the cultural aspect with also the toolkit that many of our youth need for things that were kind of unique and outside of the norm that they could learn in their regular school system.
Okay.
We were teaching them things like not balancing your checkbook, but more about problem-solving techniques, very critical aspects, how to navigate themselves through the high school experience as well as transferring into the higher learning experience. We would have our girls put into familias of 10 girls each, and it would be a blend of different age groups, they would not know, they would come without knowing each other. And these girls were strangers when they arrived at our retreat, which we would hold at Chapel Rock, which is located in Prescott, Arizona. Beautiful place, beautiful conference center. And these girls would stay, sometimes it was the first time they ever left the area, left metropolitan area. First time they saw mountains, snow, things of that sort.
Well, that in itself sometimes, because it's the experience, not so much the destination in terms of the journey getting there.
Right.
Can be so.
Absolutely. And then once they got there, as I say, they would arrive as strangers, and they would sincerely leave as hermanas, sisters. The sisterhood that they would develop in their familias. And the curriculum, which was very interactive, it incorporated our cultural, but academic, social, all these skills that they could utilize. And they would do this teatro. That the girls would come up with themselves. We would give them the topics, and they would come up with using whatever items they had at hand, which wasn't much. And then they would do these amazing teatros for us. We had them establish a name for their familia, a chant, and then they would also do these different activities together. But we ran out of funding. When 2008 came and the economy tanked, we had to find other ways of delivering this awesome and beautiful, very unique curriculum, still reaching out to our girls.
Well, you know, it's great that you're still around, because a lot of organizations did not survive 2008. I mean, it's unfortunate, but they went by the wayside. So to be around now and kind of reinventing yourself says a lot.
It's a test of character for sure. We've had to go through a few restructuring, and now we're not at the point where we can really afford the type of retreat we were doing before, because it would cost approximately $350 to $380 per attendee. We didn't have that funding capacity anymore, so we've changed it. We've partnered up with ASU, and we're working with ASU's Hispanic Mother-Daughter Program.
Okay.
And what we do is they host, they provide the location, we provide, and the girls from their program, and we provide everything else. Our familias are set up, like I say, in groups of, in the case of our ASU conferences, they're smaller conferences, but they still have the very relevant, competent, culturally competent curriculum that we're delivering to our Latina youth. And again, they come from all over the metropolitan area, always 8th through 12th graders. in our format, we have 3 facilitators for each familia. It's the Nina, who serves as the main facilitator. They train on the curriculum themselves and how to deliver each one of the activities. Then we have the Tia, who is it translated as the aunt, and she is
the Nina is the godmother,
yes,
so you know.
Correct.
Madrina.
Madrina. Yeah, not quite the mom, so she doesn't have the authority,
right.
but the authoritarian type of character, but still important enough to
yes.
the young lady that she's a guide for her. So we have the Nina. Then we have the Tia, the aunt. That's usually a member of Mujer, that is in that facilitator role. And then we have the Prima, which is cousin. And the Prima is usually the role model for that little group of girls, that familia. That role model, she's usually either a college student currently or has recently graduated, and Latina. And this serves as, again, that role model that helps the girls get through that process of connecting with one another and getting involved in the curriculum that we're addressing. And these conferences are now 4-hour long. So we've taken a 3-day conference and we've put in all of that information, and we've taken out parts of it and we've put it into this 4-hour conference, and it's housed there at ASU. We're trying to get involved with other school districts to do the same, offer it as much as we can, and in this way it's not as expensive. There's no transportation involved, there's no lodging and all the food and all, which is everything that we would cover before. It was a beautiful experience, but we just had our pilot program, this pilot conference. It was called The Power of You, and it was held at ASU's Hispanic Mother-Daughter Program downtown Phoenix, and it was very successful. We had 25 girls that we try to serve each conference, and it was just a powerful event. It was really a wonderful event. That's what Mujer does. Mujer Inc.
I can sense that you're excited about the organization. I've known about it for many, many years. I did not realize it kind of happened from the city of Phoenix.
Right.
So it had a great history here in the community. So our audience out there would like to know how they can contact you, your website, and how they can help, how they can assist.
That's wonderful. So we're still doing our fundraising events. Last year we had quite a number of wonderful ones. We did for the first time it's not the first time we did a tequila tasting. First time at Moon Valley Country Club that we did our tequila tasting. But we also held, get this, we held a Dia de los Muertos high tea. And this was where ladies came and they actually made their Catrina hats. Do you know what the Catrina hats are? The Catrina is the female Victorian skeleton woman. They all made their hats. We had all the stuff they needed to make their own hats. We had a parade. It was just a wonderful event. That was something different. We've never done that before. Another thing that we have brought in is the Mujer Institute. And this Mujer Institute is for our adult members and guests. They're personal and professional development workshops that are held and facilitated by a subject matter expert. So there's been different things having to do with health and wellness, spirituality, business professionalism, things of that sort. That's part of one of the, it still lends itself to our mission of trying to help our members grow and professionally develop and personally develop. So if anyone is interested in any of our upcoming events, we hope to have a spring fling dance I believe that'll be in April at Moon Valley Country Club.
Now, do you have your calendar? Do you have all your events on your website? On your website?
Yeah, well, they're getting uploaded as we start finding our dates, etc. We have to be determined dates on there, but yes, visiting our website would be a wonderful way to get more information. That is at www.mujerinc.net, N-E-T. If you want to actually contact us via email, you can contact us at Mujer Inc., MUJERINC @gmail.com.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by and giving us this information about this great organization. So, when you think about making donations, it's always great to give back to the community. The smaller nonprofits in our community really appreciate your support. So if you have any additional questions about this great organization, or of course about real estate, or getting qualified for a home loan, give us a call at 602-252-4191. And thanks for being here. Thank you for visiting, and see you next time.